What if your happiest moment was also your last clear memory? What if the person smiling across the table, the one you trusted with your whole heart, was the same one who sealed your fate with a single, silent sip? The clink of champagne glasses, her diamond ring catching the light, and beneath the bubbles, a poison no one saw coming. She felt it before she understood it. Not fear, not panic, something subtler, like a curtain pulling tight across her chest. Her name was Jasmine Wells, 29. Event planner, dreamer, romantic. She believed in signs. And the moment he proposed, under fairy lights and falling petals, she thought the universe was finally saying yes. I thought I was the luckiest girl alive. She'd later whisper from a hospital bed. I thought this was forever. But forever had a timer. And it started ticking the second she took that first sip. 6 months earlier, she'd ignored a voicemail from her ex. He said something cryptic. Don't trust him. Not with anything. She deleted it without listening twice. Jasmine believed in moving forward, not lingering on ghosts. But now, those words clawed their way back. The man she said yes to, Liam Marlowe. Wealthy, charming, calculated. She thought he was a mystery worth solving. But some mysteries don't want to be solved. That night, the paramedics found her collapsed on the bathroom floor. No forced entry. No signs of struggle. Only a half-empty glass. And a smear of lipstick on the rim. Toxicology report? Inconclusive. But one detail wouldn't leave her friend's mind. The taste. I took a sip from her glass to taste the champagne. Her best friend Mara told detectives. It burned. It didn't taste like any champagne I've ever had. Oh. Liam swore it was imported. Special. Expensive. Rare. Funny how often poison comes dressed in luxury. 3 weeks later, Jasmine tried to leave. But Liam had already planned their destination wedding. Already booked the villa. Already bought a second bottle of champagne. The label this time? Blank. No name. No vineyard. No origin. Just a single word printed in red. Forever. And Jasmine was starting to remember things she couldn't explain. Have you ever opened a gift and felt like it was meant to bury you? She unwrapped it with trembling hands. A bottle with no label, no scent. Only a chill that settled in her bones. She asked where it came from. He smiled and said, some things are better enjoyed without questions. But Jasmine couldn't shake the feeling. That bottle wasn't a celebration. It was a warning. She stared at it for hours. The glass was smooth but cold. Not the cold of the fridge. The kind that made her fingers go numb. Like it didn't want to be touched. Jasmine felt watched. Even in her own home. She'd once dreamed of this life. A man who loved her. A wedding in Tuscany. A future full of children and quiet Sunday mornings. But now, she couldn't picture herself surviving next week. Her breathing had changed. Tighter. Faster. And sometimes, in the middle of the night, she'd wake up choking on nothing. 3 years earlier, Jasmine's older sister, Laura, had nearly died after drinking something from a stranger at a party. It was never solved. No charges filed. Just a coma. And a silence no one dared break. Jasmine had been the one to find her. The image of Laura, pale, shaking, foaming at the lips, burned behind her eyelids. For months, she couldn't drink from a cup without smelling it first. Now, that fear had returned. But this time, she wasn't a witness. She was the next target. Liam had answers for everything. Why the label was missing. He said customs lost the box. Why she kept feeling dizzy. He blamed stress. Why the wedding guest list kept shrinking. He claimed budget cuts. But Jasmine knew better. She saw how he flinched when the doorbell rang. How he turned his phone face down. How his smile never quite reached his eyes anymore. And there was that one night, when he came home late, smelling of bleach, and something darker. Where were you? She asked softly. You really want to ruin the mood again? He replied. I just want to feel safe, she whispered. He leaned in, breath hot against her cheek. Then stop asking questions. That night, she didn't sleep. And for the first time in their relationship, she hid a knife beneath the bed. The next morning, she noticed her toothbrush tasted strange. Not minty. Not chemical. Metallic. Her tongue tingled for hours. Her lips felt numb. When she asked Liam to taste her orange juice, he refused. I'm watching my sugar, he said. But the bottle in the fridge was half empty. And she hadn't touched it since the night before. She packed a bag. Just essentials. Passport. Phone. One dress. But when she went to grab her keys, they were gone. Her car was missing. And the front door? Deadbolt, from the outside. Then came the sound. A cork popping. From the kitchen. And his voice. Babe, let's toast to us. Just one more glass. What if the man pouring your drink already knew how your story would end? The pop of the cork echoed like a shot. Too sharp, too loud. In a house that had no other sound. He called her name with that velvet voice. The same voice that once promised forever. Now promising something else. She stepped into the kitchen. And saw 2 glasses. Already poured. Only one. Was fizzing. Jasmine smiled. Not because she meant it. Because it was safer than suspicion. She sat at the table. Hands trembling just beneath the wood. And when she reached for the glass, her fingers paused. He noticed. Cold feet. Liam asked, his tone light, almost amused. No, she lied, lifting the glass. Just butterflies. Inside, her gut twisted like it knew. But politeness is a dangerous habit. Her friend Mara had warned her. Months ago. He's too perfect, Jazz. People like that don't exist without secrets. But Jasmine had laughed it off. She remembered their first date. That rooftop bar. The way Liam knew her favorite wine without asking. How he said all the right things. Like he'd studied her life in advance. Now those same words haunted her. Especially one line. I don't make mistakes. I make endings. She thought it was clever. Until now. As she stared at the champagne glass, she noticed something strange. His glass was dry. Untouched. Aren't you drinking? She asked. Later, he smiled. I want to watch you enjoy it first. The air turned heavy. Even the bubbles in her glass rose slower. Thicker. Like something was weighing them down. She sniffed it. Fruity sweet. But beneath it, a bitterness. Something sharp like wet pennies and scorched herbs. And then it hit her. This wasn't champagne. The room tilted slightly. But the floor hadn't moved. Jasmine's heartbeat began to climb. Like her body was preparing to flee. Even while her feet stayed frozen. Her throat tightened. As if the poison already knew where to go. She placed the glass back down. Carefully. Actually, I feel a little off, she said. It's just nerves, he whispered, brushing a hair behind her ear. Here, let me help you. But instead of comfort, she felt him take her wrist. Firm. Controlling. Like he was afraid she'd run. And maybe she should have. Suddenly, a memory slammed into her. 6 weeks ago. She had a stomach bug. Violent vomiting. Sweating. Liam took care of her the whole night. But something she'd forgotten came rushing back. She never ate that night. Only drank a smoothie. One he made. She chalked it up to a virus. Now, she wondered if that was a test. She asked to use the bathroom. He hesitated. Just for a second. That was enough. Inside, she locked the door. Opened the medicine cabinet. And found it. Digital thermometer. Still beeping. Still wet. And stuck at 93.1 degrees Fahrenheit. Too low for a healthy human. Someone had checked her temperature. Not to help. But to measure decay. She opened the window. 2nd floor. Rain pouring. She had no plan. Only one thought. Get out. But as she pulled her leg over the sill, she heard the front door unlock. Not from a key. From a code. And she never gave anyone the code. She froze. 2 voices below. Liam. And someone else. A woman. Soft. Familiar. And then. A laugh. Hers. From before. Someone who sounded just like Jasmine. What if you heard your own voice? Coming from someone else's mouth? As she clung to the window frame. Rain slicing across her face. That laugh. Her laugh rose from the floor below. Familiar. Warm. Wrong. Jasmine wasn't downstairs. But someone who sounded exactly like her. Was. And in that moment, she realized this wasn't just about poison. This was about erasure. Her heart pounded so loud. She could feel it behind her eyes. Was she hallucinating? Was it shock? But then came the voice again. Not a laugh this time. A sentence. She's almost ready, Liam. Just a few more days. Jasmine pressed her back to the bathroom wall. Water dripping from her soaked clothes. Trying to breathe without sound. It wasn't just a woman. It was a copy. Someone who'd studied her. Mimicked her tone, her phrasing, her rhythm. It wasn't her. But it was close enough to replace her. 3 months ago, Liam had gifted her a necklace. Elegant. Simple. A gold chain with a small sapphire pendant. But the box had arrived with no brand. No receipt. Just her name, handwritten. Where'd you get it? She'd asked back then. Custom, he smiled. Only one of its kind. Except now. She remembered something. A week later, while scrolling a photographer's Instagram, she saw someone else wearing it. Not a model. A woman at a bar in the background. Blonde. Delicate. Smiling at someone just off frame. Wearing the same necklace. She thought it was coincidence. No. It felt like a pattern. Jasmine crept out of the bathroom. Feet silent against the hallway rug. The voices grew louder. "She's catching on," the woman said. "You should have acted sooner. Liam, she's not ready yet. She still trusts me. Woman, you don't need her trust anymore." Every cell in Jasmine's body screamed to run. But she needed proof. She moved to the guest room. The door was slightly open. Just enough to see the bed. And the boxes. Stacks of them. Inside. Clothing. Her size. Her brand. But not her clothes. Tags still on. Some she'd never seen before. On the dresser. A Polaroid. It was of Jasmine. But not quite. The hair slightly different. The smile off. And written at the bottom in red ink. Jasmine V2 Final Draft. The hallway creaked. She turned. Liam stood there. Holding one glass. Still fizzing. "Jazz, you shouldn't be in here." Her throat went dry. "Who is she?" "Who?" He tilted his head, that same snake-like calm. "The woman downstairs. The one pretending to be me." He stepped closer. "You're tired? You're confused. You haven't been eating. Don't gaslight me, Liam." His eyes darkened. Not with anger. With calculation. "Fine," he whispered. "Come meet her." Downstairs. The woman stood in the center of the living room. Same build. Same posture. Even her laugh. Perfectly stolen. She turned slowly. And Jasmine saw her face. Not identical. But disturbingly close. Like a wax replica melted just enough to pass. The woman blinked. Smiled. "Hi, Jasmine. Who the hell are you?" She stepped forward barefoot. Graceful. Measured. "I'm what he wished you were." Liam's voice behind her. "You were unpredictable. Emotional. You asked too many questions. So you found someone to replace me?" "No," he said softly. "I created her. From everything you lacked." "This is insane." "Not insane," the woman interrupted. "Perfected." And Jasmine finally understood. This wasn't jealousy. Or betrayal. Or even murder. It was reinvention. Piece by piece. He'd been dismantling her. So that when she disappeared, no one would notice. Because someone else would be smiling in her place. Liam reached into his pocket. Pulled out a small vial. "One last chance," he said. "Drink. And we start over. Clean. Or she takes your life. And your name." Jasmine looked between them. 2 glasses. 2 fates. No way out that didn't taste like betrayal. What if survival meant sacrificing your own identity? 2 glasses. One filled with poison. One filled with surrender. Liam stood calmly between them, holding out the choice like a father offering medicine. Cruel, quiet, and final. "Drink it," he said, "or disappear." Behind him, to the copy, was smiling. Not sweet. Predatory. Jasmine wasn't choosing between life and death anymore. She was choosing between becoming no one, or becoming something she wasn't. Jasmine didn't move. Her heartbeat was deafening. A tidal wave crashing behind her ribs. Her skin burned. Not from heat, but from being seen. Dissected. Measured. Replaced. Everything in this room had once belonged to her. And now, it all felt borrowed. Even her name. 6 weeks ago. She'd returned home early from a weekend work trip. Liam hadn't known. She'd walked into the house and noticed something strange. The perfume. It was her brand. But not hers. Too much sprayed in one place. The scent forced. She thought she was imagining it. Thought maybe he was trying to surprise her. No. She saw it for what it was. A rehearsal. Someone had been playing her while she was gone. Trying on her life. Walking through her home. Sleeping in her bed. Jasmine stepped forward. Eyes on the 2 glasses. Her voice didn't shake. But everything inside her did. "If I drink this, you'll forget," Liam said smoothly. "The nightmares, the anxiety, the paranoia. All of it. And if I don't? Then she takes your place. You'll be gone." Silently. Peacefully. A closed chapter. The woman. The one with her stolen smile. Spoke next. "He's not the villain, Jasmine. He's the editor. You were the rough draft." Her knees nearly gave out. But she stayed standing. Because she wasn't ready to vanish. Her vision blurred. Voices echoed. Not from the room. From within, memories clashed. Moments melted. Liam laughing in Italy. Liam crying at her grandmother's funeral. Liam holding her when she was sick. But which of those were real? And which had been scripted? Her hands moved without permission, reaching for the glass on the left. The fizz shimmered like gold. Too bright. Too eager. That one, Liam said, is the one that makes it all better. Which meant it wasn't. Suddenly, Jasmine froze. The glass he handed her had a small crack near the base. She remembered that crack. From weeks ago. She chipped it doing dishes. Liam had yelled. Said it was sentimental. Made her promise to be more careful. So why? Was that the glass he handed her now? Unless it was hers. And he'd been saving it for this moment. Like a trophy. Or a grave marker. Her sister Lara's voice echoed in her mind. If they try to erase you, leave them something they can't scrub out. Jasmine remembered now. Lara's near death. The boyfriend who disappeared. The unopened letters. The half-told truths. They weren't isolated events. They were experiments. And Jasmine was next in line. She took the glass, smiled, lifted it slowly. Liam leaned in, watching, hungry. The copy tilted her head, eyes gleaming with approval. And then, Jasmine threw it against the wall. The glass shattered. The liquid steamed. Not fizz, smoke. Something in the mix reacted to air. Liam's face changed. Not rage. Not shock. Fear. What did you do? He whispered. Jasmine didn't wait. She ran. Through the front door. Down the rain-slicked steps. Into the street. She didn't stop until she reached the car. A neighbor's. Unlocked. She climbed inside, locked it, and dialed 911. But before she could hit send, her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered. Breathless. Shaking. A familiar voice spoke. This isn't over, Jasmine. You weren't the first. And you won't be the last. What if the man who claimed to love you had already buried others who looked just like you? Not once. Not twice. But over and over. Perfect replicas. Perfect lies. Jasmine didn't just escape a killer. She escaped a system. And now she was beginning to ask a question more terrifying than why. How long has he been doing this? She didn't sleep that night. Her body shook beneath a motel blanket. The kind that smelled like bleach and cigarette ghosts. The light stayed on. Not because she was afraid of the dark, but because she wasn't sure what version of herself might be waiting for her when the lights came back on. Every mirror was turned away. Every reflective surface covered. She didn't want to look. Not because of what she might see, but because of what she might not. Was she still herself? Or was she already becoming what he made? In college she had a professor, Dr. Halvorsen. He once told her something strange after class. After she turned in a paper about identity and memory. Be careful who you trust with your story, Jasmine. There are people who make a living rewriting others. She thought he was being philosophical. Maybe even creepy. No. She realized he meant it literally. She knew where she had to go first. Lara. Her sister had vanished from the public eye after the poisoning. No social media. No calls returned. Jasmine drove 3 hours north, to the care facility where Lara was said to be staying. But when she arrived, they told her Lara was discharged. 2 years ago. To a private sponsor. No name. No forwarding address. Just a signature on the form. Oh, Marlowe. She drove to Liam's old apartment. The one he lived in before they moved in together. It was empty. For lease. But something told her he hadn't left it untouched. Jasmine talked her way in. Told the manager she left something there during the move. Inside everything was stripped clean. Except for the closet. And hidden beneath the floorboard. Photos. Not of her. Not at first. A different woman. Long red hair. Freckles. Big eyes. Smiling the same way Jasmine used to. Next act. Another woman. Dark-skinned. Braids. Petite. A smile that never touched the eyes. The one that looked just like her. Same hair. Same dimples. But the photo was dated 3 years before they met. And written on the back in neat cursive. Jasmine, Phase 1. She flipped through them. Dozens. Versions. Some smiling. Some asleep. Some crying. Each labeled. Each documented. Each discarded. He'd been running a program. Not of love. Not of romance. Of creation. Selecting. Testing. Poisoning. Not always to kill. Sometimes just to observe. In the last drawer. A single cassette tape. Label read. J. Terminated. See notes. She found a cassette player at a nearby thrift store. Pressed play. The audio crackled. Then came Liam's voice. Subject 4 resisted final compliance. Standard memory erasure failed. Emotional regression was unstable. Termination required. Pause. Then a female voice, weak, gasping. Please, you said I was the one. You all are, he replied. Click. Silence. Jasmine dropped the player. She pulled out her laptop. Began searching aliases connected to L. Marlowe. Found one. Then another. Then a third. Different cities. Different states. All with the same patterns. One man. One woman. One sudden disappearance. No family notified. Then a shell website popped up. The Echo Archive. Password protected. Obscure. Buried beneath layers of code. She clicked, about. The header read. Perfection isn't found. It's built. Welcome to the reconstruction. Her screen went black. Then flashed white. New message appeared. You've seen enough. Then a new tab opened. Live camera feed. Inside her motel room. She was being watched. Even now. Even here. But the screen didn't show her. It showed a woman sitting on the bed. Face turned away. Then the woman turned. And it was her. Or someone wearing her face. What if your biggest enemy wasn't trying to kill you, but to become you? Jasmine thought escaping Liam meant survival. But now she realized survival wasn't the endgame. It was the bait. Because what they wanted wasn't her death. They wanted her absence. So someone else could live her life better than she did. The image on her screen didn't blink. The other Jasmine. Sitting calmly on the edge of the motel bed. As if she'd always belonged there. Same lips. Same scars. Same nervous habit of pulling her sleeves down over her knuckles. But it wasn't her. It couldn't be. She stared at the woman on screen. As the woman slowly lifted her head. And stared back. She thought back to her childhood. To her mother's voice. You have something special in you, Jazz. People see it. Some will love it, some will want to take it. Back then, it sounded like poetry. Now, it sounded like prophecy. Her entire life. Had she been watched? Pre-selected? Cataloged for compatibility? How many of her memories were real? How many were programmed? Jasmine returned to the stolen hard drive. There was one folder left unopened. Encrypted. Called Reset Cycle, JW. She bypassed the password using her birth year. Followed by Liam's initials. It worked. Inside the folder were video files. Surveillance. Not just recent. Years old. Her at 17 reading in the park. Her 22nd birthday, blowing out candles. Liam in the background. Out of focus. Watching. He'd been in her orbit. For nearly a decade. She wasn't his lover. She was his project. Jasmine crept back to the motel. She didn't call the police. She couldn't. She didn't know if her own fingerprints still matched hers. She didn't know what name was on the registry. She didn't even know if the Jasmine inside was legally more real than she was. Her hands shook as she unlocked the door. And there she was. Sitting. Waiting. Come. It's about time, the woman said. Jasmine, who are you? Other Jasmine, I'm the better version. The quieter one. The one who won't fight him. Jasmine, he's using you. Just like he used me. Other Jasmine, maybe. But at least I get to live. They stood eye to eye. Same voice. Same inflection. But one of them had suffered. The other had been built. Other Jasmine, do you even remember who you were before him? Jasmine, yes. That's why I'm still me. And she lunged. They crashed against the table. Lamp shattered. Blood, someone's, splashed on the dresser. It was like fighting a mirror. Each move anticipated. Each reaction mimicked. But pain couldn't be programmed. Jasmine bit. Scratched. Slammed the woman's head into the sink. She didn't stop. Because this wasn't a fight for survival. It was a fight for existence. When it was over, the other Jasmine lay unconscious. Bleeding. Still breathing. Jasmine stared into her half-lidded eyes. And saw nothing behind them. No grief. No rage. No life. Just code. On the woman's phone was a text. When she's gone, upload the sync data. We'll install her in Boston. Oh, they were going to export her. Move her into another city. Another life. Maybe even another name. This wasn't just Liam anymore. This was a system. A network. They weren't just replacing women like her. They were erasing them. City by city. Version by version. Jasmine gathered the equipment. The phone. The the drives, the files. She poured gasoline across the room, lit a match, and as the flames climbed the wallpaper, she stepped outside, rain hissing against the fire like a warning. The other Jasmine never screamed. She didn't even move, because she wasn't built to fear. She was built to replace. Weeks later, Jasmine changed her name, dyed her hair, moved to a town where no one knew her voice. She doesn't speak often, and when she does, she watches people's reactions carefully, too carefully. Sometimes she wonders, is she really one? Because late at night, when she looks into the mirror, her reflection still hesitates before moving, like it's waiting for someone else. Do you think she truly escaped, or is Jasmine still trapped in someone else's version of her life? Comment below. Subscribe to The Veil of Secret, where every ending leaves you asking who you really are.